Hey y'all, to go ahead and start off this video, I'm going to be using my Maybelline Age Rewind to prime my eyelids. We are just going to be focusing on the eyelids here, nothing else, because I want to make this a really short video since my last one was so long. And I'm just going to prime my eyelids by buffing this all over. Primer is going to help settle your makeup, make it last all day. If you have very sensitive eyes like me, you may want to go in with a really thin concealer. You can use concealer, you can use a eyeshadow primer. It's whatever works best for you. And what I end up doing so that my makeup doesn't just smear everywhere and just kind of go all over the place is I will pick up one of these flatter brushes. So it's flat, so it will deposit a lot more pigment. Pick up a fluffier brush, it may not set everything. And I'm taking since none of these have a nude shade, I'm just going to be picking up this banana color right here, this vanilla cream from the Dominique Cosmetics palette. And I'm just going to put this all over where we put that primer. Alright, now most people, you don't have to do this, but a lot of people, to get that super blended look, you want to start off with a very light color for your crease. And if you want the color to be more directly in your crease, you're going to pick up a much smaller crease brush. You don't want something this fluffy and this big. You want something more like this Luxie 231 small taper blending brush. You see how much smaller that is and how much more condensed it is than the last one? That's really going to pinpoint that color in that crease. And so what I end up doing to start off any crease is I will start with a lighter shade. So I'm going to pick up this lighter caramel shade, and then I'm just going to end up working that slowly in my crease, starting with the outer edge, because that's where you always want the most color, is like that outer corner. If you start dragging a lot of color into the middle and be like this portion of your eye, you're gonna make yourself look very dirty, very tired, and it's just gonna kind of muddy up the entire eye look. And I end up coming down a little bit, so I make a V, because that's where most of my color is going to be, so I want that transition color to start off. Now you can work in small motions like this to really blend in the color. Or you can just go back and forth in window shield wiper motions. And then I'm just going to repeat this step on the next eye. Now that we put in that like that closer shade, that lighter shade, I'm just gonna slowly start deepening it up. I am gonna be doing, see, I have my palettes out here. So I have my Masquerade palette, which I'm just dying to use, with all these warm tone shades. I love warm tones with all of my being. I think they're the best. So I'm gonna take these stupid little plastic covers off. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to pick up this pumpkin shade right here, and it will just deepen up that orange that we've already put in, that caramelly color. And with pumpkin spice, I'm taking it on a very large fluffy brush. So it's going to not pack the color on so tight, but it's still going to give us a slightly darker gradient. And what I would end up doing with this is I don't focus this directly in the crease. I focus it on a little bit of the outside, work my way in, and just buff lightly all up in this outer section, but I'm not going high with it because I don't want this color to be everywhere. I just want it to be slowly peeking out of whatever we do next. So now I'm slowly working this up without any more product and slowly working up a little bit higher right where that crease is. And it's just gonna blend the two together just effortlessly. Now we're gonna end up going in with a much fatter blending brush, but it's still a little bit more compact than our last one because we're gonna be packing in color here on this outer edge and then work our way in, okay? So to start off, I'm taking Zulu, this shade right here. I don't know if you can even tell in this light. Lighting's kind of crappy, but it's like a really warm brown. And I'm barely taking any of this product because it's pretty intense. And I'm just going to go down with it, almost like we were making a V in the corner of our eye. And then a little bit up to finish off the V. And these two colors will just marry together. And you can add a little bit more at a time. Blending just takes forever. Now I'm taking Ada, which is a darker reddish shade, and now I'm putting that on the outer part, more condensed toward the lash line, and just working that in. Okay, now I'm gonna be starting with my darker shade. So I'm picking up Fulani, which is this kind of Swiss chocolatey brown right here. I feel like all these colors are starting to look the same just because this lighting is just so bad. So, or excuse me, my camera, I guess. So I'm taking this on a smaller, flatter brush, but it's still a little bit fluffy there at the end, so it'll still blend out. And what I'm gonna end up doing is I tap off the brush so I don't get that much fallout. And I'm doing the eyes before my foundation so I don't have any harsh fallout to make my skin look even darker than it is underneath my eyes. And that's why I do my eyes first when I do something like this. And I'm working this in that outer V and just swirling my brush. Alrighty, now I'm going back into the Dominique Dominique Latte palette, and I'm picking up their shade Mocha. I say her shade Mocha, because it's Kristen Dominique. But now I'm just gonna be packing this right where we were just at, and then we just build up these colors and it creates that easy blend. Darken this up a pretty good amount, but we haven't blended up in the crease in a while, so I'm going to be taking a much cleaner brush. You can use any sort of brush for this. Usually big and fluffy works a whole lot better. And I'm just going to take this brush and just run it up over all that top line that we have and just blend, going back in window shield motions just to kind of diffuse any sort of line we may have. Now with a flatter brush, I'm going to end up picking up this bronzy shade right here, which is called Casablanca. And I'm going to pack this shimmery shade. You never want to use shimmers in your crease for reasons that it just looks like garbage usually. And I'm going to take this glittering shade and I'm gonna pack this on the inside where we left blank, and I'm not extending above the crease where we blended all that, but I am meeting all those warm shades, and I'm just gonna be slightly moving my brush in like a painting motion so that it will blend the colors all together. See, I pack on the initial color, make sure that it's nice and packed on, not going above the crease, and then I take my brush and angle it so that it's paintbrush stroking it to the middle to marry in that other color. And I'll be right back to finish up my makeup, and then we can finish up the eyes. And I'm back. Okay, so guys, for the bottom lash line, we're gonna slightly mimic like what we did on the top. So I'm going to be taking a fluffier brush. This is gonna make it a little bit more grungy, a little bit more blown out. And so I pick up, there is a dead bug on that. Okay. And I'm gonna pick up this lighter shade that we started off with, the caramel shade. And I'm taking this fluffier brush, but it's still at a slight angle. That's okay because I don't mind this being a little bit more blown out. If you want it a little bit closer to lash line, pick a much smaller brush than this. And I'm just gonna run this up underneath. And marry it in with this end, because there's nothing weirder than eyeshadow that does not connect in the corners. And pick up a little bit of pumpkin spice and deepen that a little bit more. I'm just picking up mocha here on a small tapered pencil brush, and this will really run it up underneath that lash line and blend it out. It's not going to blend it so far out, but it's going to blend it out enough to it's just going to blend it in with the eyeshadow that we have underneath, but it's still going to pack it on closer to the lash line to make it look a little bit more natural. And I'm not going all the way in with this darker shade, I'm only going about halfway. And then I'm connecting these corners together. And I've already highlighted the inner parts of my eye because I put, you know, my highlighter on and everything. So what you want to do for the brighter part of your inside of your eye is you're going to want to put a brighter shimmering shade, one that marries in with whatever colors you have. So mine is like a really, really light white golden, and that ties in really well with the fact that everything on my eye is really super warm. And then I highlight it underneath my brow bone, and that's going to connect to your cheekbone highlight. As you can tell, it just adds like a visual, like glowing atmosphere. It makes you look very healthy. It highlights that area. If you have a really heavy brow, I know some people do not put the highlighter on underneath your eyebrows, because it's going to accentuate that and it's going to draw it out, and you're going to have like such a heavy brow because you're literally highlighting the area. Just don't put anything, or put a matte shade. You don't want anything crazy. And now for my waterline, I'm actually using the Mr. Bing cream gel eyeliner from ColourPop, and this is a brown eyeliner and it's very warm toned. And I'm just gonna work this on my inner lash line. And that's just gonna smoke it up just a little bit. As you can already tell, it's kind of closed off my eye a little bit. If you have incredibly wide eyes and you're self-conscious about it, adding a color like this is really gonna help close your eye, or at least make it a little bit smokier. If you wanna open up your eye, use a nude eyeliner. I shared that in the last video or two, where I put on a nude eyeliner and it made my eyes look so much more bright and wide and open. But today, I'm not going for that. I have pretty big eyes, so I can get away with putting this on the lower lash line. It's just gonna diminish my eyes and make them look a little bit more sultry. And now once I've done this, now I'm gonna go put on my mascara and then we'll be done. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I hope you learned something today. I hope that this video was good for you. If it was, please give it a big thumbs up for me, and please subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and you get a notification whenever I upload, so then you don't have to be clicking on my Instagram or my Facebook to find me. Alright y'all, I will see y'all next time. Bye!